Hi guys, it's your naturalist Harris Brooker here, and in this video we'll be looking at things you can find on the seashore um, that that are interesting to look at. I brought along a net and uh, a container with it can fill with water so you can photograph these things nice and up close, and whatever else we can find. Stay tuned. So this is a shore crab that I've just caught from the pool. It's a little bit big for him, but it shows you nice claws. See what he's using there? That's his that's how he filter feeds. I'll show you very quickly, and then I'll just put him back in the hermit crab species. Not sure exactly which kind. Very attractive all the same. So here are the crabs. There's two of them. I'm not sure what they're doing. Either they might even be mating or something. I'm not sure what, but whatever they're doing, they're holding on to each other quite tightly. I'm not quite sure what kind of shrimp this is, but I managed to get it out of the rock pool. It's very impressive though. Look at that tail. 4 prongs. Now this is one of the sea scorpions. Not sure which one. Doesn't stay still for very long. Took a while, but I finally managed to catch him. I think it might be a short-spined scorpionfish. And you can tell that by, I just saw it a moment ago, but you can make out small horns coming off the side of it. It's little white horns coming off the side of its face. See there? Yeah. Little white horns. There you go, more again. Short-spined scorpionfish. So this, I think, might be some kind of top shell. Not the strongest on mollusks, but that might be what it is. We've also got some weird sort of button seaweed here, not sure what. A kind of algae, coralline seaweed, other green algae. There's an assortment of things in this pool, like there's I think is a common periwinkle, and these I think are vegetarians. They eat algae and just pull themselves along, munching on whatever they can get, I suppose. This I found in the pool appears to be, I'm not sure from what kind of fish. It might just have been dropped in here by a gull. There seems to be quite an array of algae species. Again, I'm not sure exactly what they are, but it's proving interesting, at least. I'm also just assessing the coastline so that maybe not this year, but next year, depending on what's happening, I could try and snorkel some of these little inlets, which may have things in them like wolffish or conger eels. You know, that would be pretty special. But today what we'll do is maybe just have a look at some seabirds and see if any cetaceans, that's the fancy name for whales and dolphins and porpoises, see if any of those come by. The sea is actually quite good today. I'll just show you in a minute. The view from where I'm sitting just now on the cliff edge at Tarlair. This is one of the better, more prominent cliffs to look out to sea, and it's quite calm out there. A sea state 2, maybe 3 at most, by and large a sea state 2, so there's virtually no white caps to see, and that's makes spotting whales and dolphins easier. You know, I can't guarantee that there will be any today, but we'll see how it goes. So over here you have herring gulls, probably one of our commonest gull species. They're on the red list for some reason. I'm not sure why, because when you come here, you'd find it hard to believe that they're endangered. Some people refer to these as seagulls, but I'm not very fond of the term because it's just like a waste bin word for gulls of many different kinds. I prefer to use the term gulls because some seagulls don't technically live by the sea quite so much, though most of our ones do. They're the second largest gull species in the world. No, sorry, not the second largest. That's the glaucous gull. I'm not quite sure how large they are, but they're pretty big. I think they can grow to about just over half a metre long, with a similar wingspan maybe. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but they've got pink legs and grey backs and black wingtips with some white spots. This is our British race Argenteus, which has the white spots on the primaries, those black wingtips. That have larger white spots than the nominate race that you would find in Scandinavia, that does sometimes also come by this way, and a lighter grey, and this one has a lighter grey back than the Scandinavian one, the Scandinavian subspecies. So that's herring gulls. no doubt we'll probably see more of them. So here's more herring gulls, slightly closer in. No doubt we'll probably get more. There's a few... No, that's an adult. There are a few youngsters flying around, but mostly what we're seeing here are adults. You can see the pink legs on them quite nicely. And you can hear them making these short screaming calls. Of course they do a much more elaborate one, which I can't mimic, but no doubt if you live by the sea you'll have probably heard it a number of times. It's quite an impressive sound. It sort of works the sound up its throat and then lets it out, putting its head back as it charges it up, and then lets it go, which is pretty impressive. Not one of our, perhaps not everybody's favourite bird, but they are pretty awesome in their own right. This is a cormorant that's just flying along here. It's a nice big black bird. It's a bigger, thicker bill than the very similar shag. These will quite often fly at a height, something that the shag will never do, but that's probably not the most reliable way because they don't always fly at a height. This one is flying low. Cormorant. Another cormorant. So here's a fulmar at its nest. The name fulmar is Norse, meaning foul gull, but it's not actually a gull species. It's more related to the albatrosses, but it's actually a kind of petrel. And I don't know if you guys can see, but at the top of his nose, the top of his bill, he's got like a little tube which allows them to smell fishy carrion smells from a good distance away. Now I hear that prior to the 1930s these only bred on St Kilda, which is an island 40 miles off the west coast of Britain. A very wild island, and they were only found there prior to the 30s. But now these birds are very widespread, and they're pretty much all over Britain now. You do well to avoid getting too close to these when they're nesting, because the chicks and the adults spew fish oil and sick at you as a defensive measure, which apparently is very difficult to wash off. Not that it's really a risk here, because you're not really anywhere where they will feel threatened by your presence. But this one, for example, you can get reasonably close to, because it's more or less at my level. They seem to breed relatively early, something like April. No, maybe not April. It's maybe one of the earliest seabirds to return. They might return around about April, March, sometime like that. So relatively early for seabirds compared to things like guillemots, razorbills, puffins. That is the fulmar, Fulmaris glacialis. So here we have what I think is a common blue. It looks, I'm not quite sure why it's got some brown on it, but brown on its wings, but unless it's just not fully mature. Oh, away it goes. This is another common blue. Looks like a fully mature adult. Spectacular thing. I think the one that we saw back there must have been a younger one. Very special.